Welcome to Lead Today with me, Kalyna. Let's talk leadership. Hello and welcome back. I think as you're preparing for Christmas, holidays, whatever it is that you do to ritualize winter and the days being shorter, I would love to think about the concept of really making the magic yourself. Create the magic yourself. I've noticed, first of all, that shorter episodes when it comes to topics like this seem to work. So we'll keep these tight and just contemplative. A couple questions to think about, and then we'll head out. I really would encourage you to think about, how can I create the magic? And if you're exhausted, I know this season for me, I've just been exhausted. And the idea of creating my own magic in the holiday season has felt impossible, frankly. So I'm coming at this from a place of, okay, zero energy. I feel flat. I had a cold. I'm recovering. I wanted to get up to date on the podcast, but it's late. Like, just all these intentions, right? And things kind of falling apart and realizing that even with the best intentions, sometimes your plans just don't go to plan. And that's what life is. And there's this way I wish life was, and then there's a way life actually is. And that's okay, because that's what coaching's about, I think, is where are you? Where would you like to be? You have to have the vision, but you also have to have the clarity of, okay, but what's right in front of me actually? What's the truth? And it's hard to see the truth. It's hard to acknowledge the truth. I think we see it, but we don't want to see it. It's difficult, whether that's with relationships, with your health, with I can money, with work, with everything. It's so easy to just have wishful thinking, run away from the truth. Some people, I was just having this conversation, like people will run away from the truth, and that's totally me. I'm like running, I'm gone, get me out of here. Or you hibernate, kind of isolate, so that freeze response, right? And then there's the kind of pushing, fighting mentality. So everybody's kind of got those, like, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, I suppose, is another one they talk about. But so what's your strategy when it comes to coping with challenge? And then the flip side is creating the magic of this season yourself. And I recognize how many moms, quite frankly, are doing that for their families. Really creating the magic, especially if you have kids, people that depend on you. If you take that role upon yourself, no matter your family structure, whether that's through baking and creating food that feels like it's for the season, or decorations that feel homey, cozy, wintertime, Christmas, whether that's activities that you feel really bring you into the season. You go visit Santa, or you go to church, or you have these rituals that every year you go skating or on these particular walks, or you build forts, or maybe you're in a hot place and Christmas looks like, a beach day or a barbecue with family. Whatever it is that you do that signifies that wintertime cozy hibernation. And if you're by the equator, that's not really what it signifies in the same way. And so obviously being mindful of where you're at, because it's a different feeling. I do find also springtime kind of feels more like the new year to me than January. So, however you kind of feel, I do feel that the new season sort of brings me into that renewed, right? Everything's in the north, at least, right? It's snow, everything is cold, no leaves on trees kind of feeling. And then spring is what brings that renewal. So, I mean, kind of tap into what makes sense for you. But for this particular episode, creating the magic for yourself is such a difficult concept. I heard someone talking about that, and I just felt like, but wait, I've been feeling like the magic is just supposed to come. Isn't the magic just supposed to be a thing? Like, isn't it just supposed to be magical because it's Christmas time? And I recognize, wait, but there's so many people that are creating that magic, right? Whether it's all the lights on the trees and the malls are decorated, and it takes our participation to create that magic. And then I felt a bit resentful, frankly. It's like, oh, wait, but this doesn't just happen, right? Like, I don't just feel magical because it's Christmas time. And I think in past years I did, and I didn't realize, A, how much effort was going into it. Maybe behind the scenes, which there's so much invisible load that moms carry which we won't get up on that soapbox right this minute, but this is a time where moms are really juggling all the social commitments, and there are many. If you're celebrating Christmas or Hanukkah or any type of holiday this time of year, it's a lot to manage that load. It's exhausting to manage that load, and then it's like, wait, does it even feel magical, or am I going through the motions? Why am I doing this? Is there this list, or am I genuinely excited about this? And so taking a bit of stock of like, am I doing these things because they're just, oh, you have to do Elf on the Shelf? Like, no, you don't. If Elf on the Shelf annoys you, don't do Elf on the Shelf, right? Like, your kids will be okay. Uh, your family will be okay. What's not okay is when you're miserable all the time. Definitely coming from experience. Like, I've been miserable at times, and that's just not a person that anyone wants to be around. You don't want to be around yourself, really, and then everything just looks bleak. And some days things are bleak, and this time of year is tough. And if you've lost family members close to you, if there's somebody that's sick, if you're, like, if there's challenge at this time of year, it is a time when people do feel isolated. And if that's you, please reach out for support. I'm the first person to say that and the last person to do it. So I get it. Like, please do it. But if you're listening to this and it's like, no, I really need some help, but I just don't even know what to do. I mean, message me. Like, just message me. Message me on Instagram, message me somewhere. Email me, connect@kalynamaletic.com. Message somebody, just message someone and say, like, this is hard. Like, hi. Just anything, because I think we suffer so much in silence. Women particularly, men in their own way, like we suffer in silence, and then we come together and we pretend like it's all good. And if it's not, you do not, this is not about pretending. I'm so unable to pretend. Like, if I'm in my face, just, it's like, it's the architecture of my face or facial muscles. Like, I cannot pretend to you that I'm okay when I'm not. So let's not do that. Like, I think, 2026, like, let's just not pretend like we're good. At the same time, there's a difference between that and like misery just kind of festering, like, things can be not good. Let's acknowledge the truth. I think it's just truth. Like, what's the truth? If it's a hard season, if it's a tiring season, if you're stressed, if you're over it right now, okay. So, but what does it look like then to find the magic, create the magic? And the magic there is, well, I have to slow down. Oh, wait, but there are all these family activities or all these things that we should be doing. No, if your family unit is in need of slowing down, why are you running around? Right? Like, and I'm saying this as the first one to be doing it. So it's like I'm almost, talking to myself, but if this is you, talking to you, why are we running around doing all these errands, doing all these things when we really need to slow down? And I think it's that stress response, right? And so how do you can't create magic if you're in a stress response. Like, if you're in this flight reaction of just doing, errands, go, go, go. How are you possibly how? Like, you're in survival mode. That's also if you just like hole up in your house and don't do anything, don't go for a walk, don't see the sunlight for days. That's another form, right? So you've got to kind of recognize in yourself, and that takes self-awareness, and then also really sometimes getting some of that activation energy. I've realized I'm pretty good at that. I struggle with the finale, with the endings of things. Beginnings, I'm very good. I'm very good at starting things. And so notify, notify, identify that in yourself. Okay, am I really good at starting stuff? Do I get myself out of the house, but then I kind of struggle to do the whole walk or do the whole activity? Or am I somebody that really thinks and thinks and thinks about what I'm going to do, but then I just don't end up doing it? I have all these lists of unfinished things, and we all have lists of unfinished things, but like, is that the pervasive sentiment? So creating the magic around the holidays can feel like pressure, and that's not, I don't think, what it's meant to be. And there's a lot of it, it's the commercialized nature of the holiday, but it can be about solemn quiet contemplation. It can be a bit about, solitude, going inward, but it can be about connection and family. So there's this continuum. It can be a little bit of both. That continuum is yours to define, and that's where I think we go wrong. Is it's not like all or nothing, one or the other. So easy to get into that thinking, but it's like, what would create magic for me? Do you just want to go to a cafe, sit there with a book and have a hot chocolate? Like, is that magic? Because if you've got kids running around and you get an hour to yourself, maybe that's magic, um maybe it's magic to connect with someone if you're working all the time, but you've really had this one friend on your mind and you want to go see them and chat or even chat with them. Maybe you don't even, text, just like set a block of time, text or call, just connect if that's something that's on your mind. So, connection, is it food related? Is it health related? Is it something to do with creating? Like this podcast, I can't emphasize to you enough how much it means to me to have this space with you to just maybe it's selfish. Like I think I'm doing it for you, but honestly, this does so much for me. So I hope it's giving to you because you have no idea what this forum, what this space in my life gives to me. It's the most amazing thing for me because I'm such a talker and I want to connect with you. I want to share how I feel. And a lot of times in coaching and in my work, right, it's a lot of listening. And that's taught me a lot too. Like I definitely grew up just wanting to be a talker, not really focused on my listening skills. And so, again, balance, right? Listening versus talking. But this forum, because I do so much listening, this is such a beautiful way for me to synthesize what I listen to in sessions and then come to you. And there are so many things, like if when I'm being authentic, first of all, like I talk fast, right? Like I'm a fast thinker, fast talker. It always used to get me in trouble when I would write, like for school, because I couldn't write as fast as I was thinking, and it frustrated me that I couldn't get the thoughts down as fast as I had them. That was always frustrating about writing for me. And so this forum is it's perfect. It's perfect for me. And so I want to just thank you for being here. I know there was such a huge absence, and now here I am, and it's like, of course, to build a podcast, and don't even get me started on like the business side of it, the strategy side. I'm supposed to be here and consistent. I get that. I just want to emphasize to you, like, if there are projects in your business or your life that you're just like, I wish I was doing these things. Oh man, I haven't done them for a while. So what? Like, the people that care will be there. The people that enjoy you will be there, buy your service, show up. And the people that don't, no problem, right? Like, there's so many choices we as consumers can make the choice, right? And if nobody listens to this show, that's what it is. I still want to be here. And so do things that you want to do and would be there, even if there's nobody in the room, there's nobody showing up, because I can assure you, first episodes, first launches, first anything, you've got a small crowd in the room most of the time, right? And that's okay. Like that's what it is. And it's actually, you really get to know the people that support you. And so if you're one of those few people that have been there to small events that I've run, book signings and remote locations, I've had book launch book events at Barnes and Nobles in these most random locations, and even just thinking about a friend, Lindsay, who literally showed up. I mean, it's not that random, it's Buffalo. But I was not expecting her, and that just totally made my day. Somebody that I knew, feels like a past life in university, and showed up to support me. And what a beautiful thing, for her to do that. And it just made my day. I felt so loved and cared for, and that was magic, and that was something someone else did for me, and that created magic for me. So I think one is, yeah, create magic for yourself. Two is, you don't realize what magic you're creating for somebody else just by showing up or being there. Like, that's no small thing to show up for someone and be there for someone. And that makes me so emotional for some reason, like I'm tearing up just showing up for someone. I think we're all just trying to get by, and that's another thing. Like, we're very harsh on each other, on ourselves. Like the dialogue in your head, how are you talking to yourself? Like, are you just mean? Like, I'm mean to myself, and it's like, why, there are already so many challenges in life. Why am I turning on myself and being so mean? um it's awful. I don't know. I think it's learned. I think it's this thing I've practiced that's just not helping anybody or myself. Definitely doesn't create magic to be that way. So I think it's like, yeah, okay, what's my internal dialogue? So what are the thoughts? Am I being mean to myself? That's not helping me. It's really not. Like the inner critic, I have an episode on this if you want to kind of delve in deeper to the inner critic, but like the inner critic is there absolutely to point out those truths that you're kind of avoiding, maybe, right? Like they're there to scan for problems. It's an amazing role. You need that kind of role in your brain of like, okay, critic that says, here's where all the problems are. You need that, right? But then you do have to transmute that into, okay, what am I doing about it? And it's not the critic is, when it kind of goes astray, it's going into like character defamation, right? If it's like, you're just terrible, like you're just a bad person, it's like, no, the things you do can be good or bad on some scale assessment of your moral code, right? Like the code you follow for yourself, the standards of integrity that I talk about. I like that term. I got that from, I believe, Maria Nemeth's book about the energy of money. I hope I'm getting that right. I think that's where I got it from. I will double check. But the standards of integrity were so cool because it's like that, just the way that that was said. And I've mentioned this before, but I really love it. It's like, what are what are your standards? What are you living by? It was a different way to think about it because all my training was around like values. So values is what's important to you. That's kind of the key question in the coaching training I did, values-based coaching. And that's a good question, but somehow it didn't, like, what's important to me. I mean, a lot of things, and it feels like that shifts in the moment, kind of. And like, okay, now a pizza is important to me. Like, I want a pizza. That feels important. And I get, I mean, I'm being flippant, right? I get that it's like deeper level. Okay, family is important. But sometimes I don't know, it didn't always click with me on how to inform my actions. Like, okay, family is important, but what does that mean in this moment versus standards of integrity, kind of this like right and wrong, like moral code, yes, no. It felt a bit more kind of binary and so easy to live by, honestly, because family just feels like a big word and it means a lot to me, but it means so many things, right? Whereas standards of integrity, it's kind of like, okay, alcohol, yes, no, caffeine, yes, no, like things show up and it's like, is this a yes or a no? It's just so much easier of like, is this my standard of, am I in integrity or not? Like, yes, no. Whereas values, you can have a great discussion on and it's important to define them. Then I think the standards of integrity kind of go into the nitty gritty a little bit better of like, okay, what are the standards within those values? So I think I'm digressing a little bit, but it's so important to know, like, I think you can even do this for the magic thing of like, is this creating magic or stress? Like, yes, no, like magic or stress, magic or stress. Like, do I feel like this is creating magic in the season or am I just pissed off? Like, don't, why are you living like that? It's only leaking out into the things you say, the way you feel, the way your face looks. I looked angry. Like, I just have been walking around looking angry. Why? I mean, I life got hard and I think I got a bit hardened by it. And fair enough, like that is what life can do to you, but it does not have to. And I think snapping yourself out of it. And again, like I'm talking to me, so this is not I'm not preaching necessarily in this. I'm just preaching to myself, I think, which hopefully this lands for you because I've just been so harsh on myself and mean and why haven't I done this and this isn't right and I just like finding all the problems in everything. And again, time and a place for that. But then we do have to switch to the creator mode, which creates the magic, right? The creator in your brain is like, okay, here are all the issues. Thank you, critic. But now the creator needs to come in and be like, now what? Like, where's the magic? Where's the beauty? Where's the excitement and following, like, exciting, yes, no, or pick that word. So if that's your value word, like, is this loving, is this magical, is this joyful, is this happy, is it like whatever that word is. And no, obviously nobody's happy all the time. This is not some, again, I cannot like, I am just not somebody that shines this like, not fake positivity, I don't know, I'm not this like over the top positive. It's just never been my thing, right? Like, I am who I am, here I am, like, it is what it is kind of person. I've definitely been more of like that matter of fact person, about my own state of being. Like, I can't sort of put it on. It's hard. It's really hard for me to do that. Um, so I'm not asking you to like fake the magic of the season. And that's where I think like that thin veneer, that kind of like Disney fake feeling. So if you go into Disney and you feel like it's fake, that's like but if you go into Disney and it creates magic, so you can see Disney as like this fake facade of, or do you really, like the kids that you take there, they see this joy, this like complete magical kingdom, right? So are you seeing it as a child or are you seeing it as this like tarnished adult that sees like the guy that makes the fries smoking behind the kiosk? Like, it's like, what part of Disney World do you see? Like the dude that's miserable hacking a butt behind the store? Or is it like the storefront with the garland and the twinkle lights and the whatever, like Santa Claus and Christmas tree there? Like, what are you seeing? And again, it's not to ignore the guy at the back who's miserable smoking the cigarette. It's not like I'm not. I think it's just, are you totally fixated on that dude? Like, are you totally in that mode? Are you miserable? Because I felt miserable and I was kind of blaming everything. Like, I just got into this mode and it wasn't pretty. There was no beauty in things. So, yes, there's ugly badness, negativity. There are those things in the world, those qualities, but that's not the whole world. And I think it's easy to kind of go down that direction. And so, okay, do you want to go down that direction? Are you in that direction? Are you good with that direction? If so, okay, right? But it's like, what, there is the flip side. And I do think we have to find the flip side. And some seasons of life, it is dark. And, it can be years of kind of feeling more on the dark side. That is a reality of life. And I certainly have been there. So I understand the challenge, the feelings of just being in the depths of the darkness, and maybe creating magic in those situations is just giving yourself the pass, like the grace, the pass, the hall pass, to just be like, okay, I'm just down right now, and not having to fake it and just being in it. That's maybe magical in a sense, right? Because it just takes a bit of the load off of like, the situation's bad, but I don't have to layer it on to myself, right? It can just be hard. It can just be hard right now. And that's kind of magical in its own way. But if you're in a place where it's like, okay, I'm kind of teetering on the darkness and the light, and what's kind of, okay, but maybe there can be more light. Maybe there can be a bit more magic. Not fake magic, not like this syrupy pretend magic, the like genuine childhood magic that a lot of us create for our kids. We want to create for our kids, but it's like, do it in a genuine way and then do it for yourself. What feels magical to you? So I'll leave it at that. And I really wish you a wonderful holiday season, whatever season you're heading into in the next few weeks. I will see you next time. We'll contemplate a bit more, and I hope you take good care until then.